Precautions. Bhastrika is a dynamic practice requiring a large expenditure of physical energy and must be practiced in a relaxed manner. Avoid violent respiration, facial contortions, and excessive shaking of the body. A feeling of faintness, excessive perspiration, or vomiting indicates that the practice is unsuitable or is being performed incorrectly. If any of these symptoms are experienced, the advice of a competent teacher should be sought. This practice purifies the blood. However, if the stages are rushed, all the impurities will be ejected from the body in a rush, which may exacerbate conditions caused by detoxification. A slow, conscientious approach to this practice is absolutely imperative. Bhastrika is full, rapid breathing. Hypoventilation can occur if the air is not fully expelled from the lungs on each exhalation. This is another indication that the technique is not being performed correctly. Contraindications. Bhastrika should not be practiced by people with high blood pressure, heart disease, hernia, gastric ulcers, strokes, epilepsy, retinal problems, glaucoma, or vertigo. The elderly or those suffering from lung diseases such as asthma and chronic bronchitis, those recovering from tuberculosis or first trimester of pregnancy are recommended to practice only under the guidance of a competent teacher. Hey fam, Adam from Ananda here. Super excited to be bringing you this series, a 4-part series on Bhastrika Pranayama. This is part of my passion and my purpose to spread this wonderful practice of pranayama to as many people as possible. Thank you for supporting this channel. Thank you for sharing and engaging with this content. Every like, every subscribe, every comment, every share helps spread this beautiful practice further. So what is Bhastrika? Bhastrika, also known as the breath of fire or bellows breath, is this breathing technique we use to energize and activate our systems within the body. We're using the diaphragm, which is this thin sheet of muscle that sits in behind the base of the rib cage, expanding and contracting, pumping the belly and fanning an imaginary flame. So a bellow is what we use to fan a flame, and that's what we're imitating with the diaphragm to create this heat within the body, to generate this energy, this prana, this life force energy within the body. It's centered around Manipur, so we're engaging the diaphragm and the deep core muscles to pump and generate this energy. Our inhale is even to our exhale, and we're going to start really slow. So there's 4 parts to the series. As I said, technique 1 is about building a foundation and a connection with the breathing muscles, specifically the diaphragm, which we're using to engage this energizing effect. Now, because of the dynamic movement associated with Bhastrika, it's really important to have a strong and solid base. So a range of different techniques in terms of asana and positions are available. So you can do lotus pose if you're able to, half lotus like I am, Siddha Yoni asana, thunderbolt pose, or just easy pose with your legs crossed in a comfortable way, whatever suits you. The most important thing is you're comfortable and you have a solid base. It can be really nice to have a bolster or cushion like I'm sitting on to lift your hips up off the ground and allow your legs to relax a little bit more. Our posture needs to be upright, so I'm just going to go through a quick setup with you. This is the same for most breathing practices in a seated position. The first thing we do is we connect with our sit bones. So visualize your sit bones, those bones in your bottom next to your coccyx, and make sure they're level. So scoot around if you need to, and just make sure they're balanced. You might need to puff up or reduce the pillow that's sitting underneath your bottom to find that position. And then bring your awareness to the coccyx, so your tailbone. Moving up from the coccyx, vertebra by vertebra, feel your spine lengthen and become upright. Beautiful. And as you come to the chest, feel it come forward. Feel your shoulders sit down and back, opening that chest even wider. And visualize your head in line with your spine. So a nice straight line all the way up. Feel that posture. Remember that posture, and it's what we're going to hold throughout the practice. And in terms of preparation, it's really important that we have clear nasal passages for this practice. We're breathing in and out through the nose, so we don't want any blockages getting in our way of the practice. The first thing you can do is jala neti. If you have a neti pot, learn this practice to unclog your nostrils with warm salty water. That's number one. Number two, there's a product called Rocket Fuel by Savvy Touch. We have a discount code if you go to our link tree. You can access that product, really affordable, all natural, and we use it to unclog the nostrils, but also the whole respiratory system as well. Super powerful, really recommend that. And the third is we have a breathing technique which includes a head dance, a Buteyko method, which you can find in our shorts on our page as well. So try one of those if you have any blockages. You could also try Nadi Shodhana if you have one nostril more blocked than the other. Again, in our shorts, if you want to look up that technique to prepare. So technique one, we're starting off really slow. So it's a 2-second breath, meaning 1 second inhale, 1 second exhale. As we inhale, we fill the belly. As we exhale, we suck it in. Nice and slow and controlled. In terms of our setup, we're going to be in either chin or Jan Mudra. If we want to be more introspective and look within, we're going to have our palms facing down, index finger and thumb touching. If we want to take in energy from around us and be more outward looking, we're going to have our palms facing upwards. So find whatever suits you. In terms of connecting with our diaphragm, it can be really useful to use a hand position. So the hand position I recommend is interlocking our fingers together and placing them on the belly and connecting with that inhale. As we inhale, we fill for 1. Exhale, we empty for 1. Keep going for a few breaths just to connect with that diaphragm. So feeling the diaphragm, that thin sheet of muscle, expanding like a balloon on the inhale and pushing the belly outwards. On the exhale, it deflates and moves the belly in towards the spine, that belly button towards the spine. We're going to start to feel some heat being generated. We're going to start to feel that expansion and that extension of the belly outwards on the inhale and that contraction on the exhale. No break between the inhale and the exhale, and just keep it flowing for a couple more breaths and then relax. So we're going to do 3 rounds of Bhastrika. Round 1 is a tempo of 1 second in, 1 second out. Round 2 is a tempo of 1 second in and out, so meaning 1 breath per second. And then we're going to do 2 breaths per second, so increasing the pace as we move through. Our awareness physically is on the motion of the breath in the abdomen, feeling the abdomen pump and feeling the flow of the air through the nose. And spiritually, it's Manipura chakra, so the solar plexus chakra, which is located at the navel, at the level of the navel and the spine. So we're focusing mentally and spiritually on this point, and this is connected with our sense of self, our confidence, our self-worth, our self-belief, and things like this. Okay, so starting round 1 together, we're going to make sure our posture is upright, making sure our spine is stacked, our bottom is balanced, our chest is forward, our shoulders are down and back, and our head's in line with our spine. Feel that strength in our posture. We're going to bring our awareness to the flow of breath in and out the nose, closing the mouth. Find that position, chin or Jan Mudra. Thumb and index finger touching, palms facing either down or upwards. Feel that flow. Beautiful. We're going to start off with an exhale together, pushing all of the air out of the body, and then we're going to start the pump 1 second in and 1 second out. All the way out together. Inhale, exhale. Three more. Last one. And relax back to a natural breath. Scan through the body and notice what's changed. Noticing any sensations, any changes in body temperature or blood flow. Maybe feeling some warmth around the belly. Some power in that Manipura chakra, releasing vital energy and prana throughout the body. Just notice for a few moments what's there. And now preparing for round 2, we're going to speed it up slightly, so it's 1 second per breath, and one breath obviously consists of an inhale and an exhale. Find that position, make sure your spine's upright, feel the flow of breath. On my cue, we're going to exhale together and then start pumping. Exhale now. Last one. And relax. Back to a natural breath. Again, connect with the flow of air. Any subtle sensations, and just witness what's there. With no judgment, just a passive observation and curiosity. So this third round, preparing for this third round, we're going to increase the tempo to 2 breaths per second, making sure our body is still like a statue. Starting off with an exhale together and pump. And relax back to a natural breath. Just letting it flow. Feel that heat. Feel that charge of energy. So that's 3 rounds. We want to make sure we've mastered technique 1 before we move on to the following videos. So you can do these 10 breaths per round at different paces for up to 5 rounds and connect with this flow of energy, making sure we're activating that diaphragm, we're connecting with that flow, no break between the inhale or the exhale, expanding the diaphragm on the inhale and using the abs to contract the belly on the exhale, sucking it in towards the spine. Take your time with it, be gentle. It's not about struggling or straining, it's about building it and generating a tempo that feels comfortable so we can get the maximum benefits out of this practice. Hope you enjoyed, fam.